Hello viewer, welcome to my video presentation on Niccolo Machiavelli, one of the most controversial and influential political thinker. I make some slides on Niccolo Machiavelli for better understanding the political ideology, decree, life, etc. All about Niccolo Machiavelli. Let me first introduce myself. I am Srijukta Prantokumar Roy, student of University of Dhaka, Department of Political Science. Now let's jump to our slides. Our first slide is about Niccolo Machiavelli life. Niccolo Machiavelli is known as controversial modern political thinker. He known as controversial because of some political thinkers argue about Niccolo Machiavelli's philosophy on politics. That's why he called as controversial modern political thinkers. But we know the significance of Niccolo Machiavelli because we all are Machiavellian. Niccolo Machiavelli born in 3 May 1469 in Florence, Italy. His father was advocate and his mother was housewife. In 1498, he became diplomat for the Republic of Florence. In 1512, once again Lorenzo de' Medici conquered the Florence, and Niccolo Machiavelli lost his job for supporting the Republican. In 1522, he got back his job by the grace of monarch, but he wasn't satisfied with his post. In 1527, Medici lost his possession over Florence, and Machiavelli was accused for supporting the monarchy and fired him from the post. He died in 27 June 1527. Our second slide is about Niccolo Machiavelli's books. There are many books of Niccolo Machiavelli, but the most important book of Niccolo Machiavelli, which I suggest you to read once in a life, and this book will help you to better understand the politics, how to run a nation, how to acquire knowledge, how to acquire power, how to hold your power, etc. All about this type of politics. The book is called The Prince. This book is very important for a political science student. There are many books like Discourse on the first 10 books of Titus Livius. This book is very important for us. And here are more books like The Art of War and the Florentine History. In the Florentine History, we will know about the history of Florentine on this time. Viewer, in your screen you can see the third slide. The slide is very important because in this slide we can get to know that how Niccolo Machiavelli get his knowledge and use them in his books. The most important political method is empirical method. In this method, Niccolo Machiavelli gained knowledge and he gives some priority on this method. Empirical method based on experience, what we see in reality right now, right moment. By this way we can get knowledge about empirical method. Empirical method is very important for political science student. Also we can know about historical method and observational method. Historical method based on history, what we know about past. Observational method is based on observation, what we see in our circumstance, in our environment, etc. I have to admit that empirical method include both types of method, historical and observational. So I can say about this that empirical method is a scientific method, and Niccolo Machiavelli practiced this scientific method for gaining knowledge. So his decree and philosophy on politics and whatever he talks about is very significant for us because he gained his knowledge in a scientific way. In our fourth slide, we can know about the impact on Niccolo Machiavelli's philosophy. I identified 3 factors which have very impact on Niccolo Machiavelli's philosophy on politics, human nature, and etc. The first factor is social features of Europe or Italy. Second one is political condition in 5 city state of Italy. We know on that time there was five state and there was no one nation system in Italy. In city states there are violence and animosity, and foreign countries can attack them easily. The third factor is Renaissance of Europe. Renaissance of Europe is very important because it worked as material environment from 1342-43 when Marsilio of Padua died to 1469 when Machiavelli born. This period is called Renaissance. On that time, literature, art, culture, science comes out in a new idea, and Niccolo Machiavelli got some new ideas and showed them in his books. The Prince is the books where he show his most political ideology and new ideas about politics, and the most important message for a one state nation. Now let's jump to our fifth slide. Dear viewer, in our fifth slide we will know about the conception of human nature. Machiavelli thinks that human is bad by nature, and he also thinks that man is greedy, craft, clever, egoistic and selfish. That's why he suggested that ruler shouldn't be a vessel of love, ruler should be a vessel of terror. He also identified that there are two motives. The first one is passion for creativity, and second one is fear and love. By those motives, human is directed. And we can also say that Niccolo Machiavelli has very negative view on human nature. Now we will jump to our sixth slide. In our sixth slide, I will tell about the conception of responsibilities and qualities of a ruler should have. At first, I will tell about the responsibilities a leader should take. A leader should close to his mass pupil as friend, and he has to be careful about pressure group. A leader should be the protector of his mass pupil, state as well as nation. A leader can do whatever for well-being of the state and hold his power. We can say that Niccolo Machiavelli give the full freedom to the ruler for controlling the people and the nation. Now we will discuss about the qualities of a ruler. A ruler should combine the qualities of a fox and lion. A ruler should be strong lawmaker. A ruler has some qualities like vigorous, clever, strong, traitor. A ruler has to be traitor because he has to be act like an fox. That's why he has to be a traitor. And a ruler can break the rules because for the well-being of the nation. When we tell about the qualities of a ruler as a traitor and lawbreaker and also intimidator because of the keeping the peace in the nation for the well-being of mass people. That's why he has to carry this type of qualities in his behavior. A ruler has to give his first priority to the state, not to the human, and morality and religion. Now we will go to our seventh slide. In our seventh slide, we will discuss about a very important notion which is called the separation of religion and morality from the politics. Niccolo Machiavelli said that ends justify the means because men are by nature greedy, selfish, egoistic, craft, clever. That's why Niccolo Machiavelli knows that morality and religion are useless for running a nation. That's why he separated this from the politics and give a full freedom to the prince for do whatever for the well-being of the nation and the mass people. By this notion, we get a new idea of creating a secular state in our modern age. For this reason, we have to be grateful for to the Niccolo Machiavelli. Now let's jump to our eighth slide. Our eighth slide is Machiavelli as nationalist. Niccolo Machiavelli was the first modern political thinker who thinks for a nation state. After this notion, all over the world there are city-state system, but Niccolo Machiavelli was the first person who thinks about a one nation system. Niccolo Machiavelli give importance in solidarity. He said that he by his notion or decree we can know that solidarity is important for long-term stability of a state. He also thinks about the stability, long-term stability of a state or nation. That's why he give importance to the solidarity. He wants the unity in state. He thinks that tradition, language, and law system is the key of national solidarity. Also, he wants to build own military force because interference of tenant soldiers can't give the full protection in the nation and can make a chaotic situation with the government. Also, he said that the ruler or prince, whatever we call a leader, should get the support of military of his own nation for the long term regime. Otherwise, he will lose his power and the country will lost his speech. Our ninth slide tells about his contribution on philosophy. The first contribution we can say that Niccolo Machiavelli give us to our political science student that we have get a new idea to learn political organization or political circumstance, political system, etc. by the empirical method. He give us a new perspective. We can say that. Also, we can say that Niccolo Machiavelli has a huge impact to our modern generation for creating a secular state. He has a deep philosophy on nation state. He also has the contribution on separation of religion, morality, and politics. Also, he identified the characteristics of a ruler should have. Also, he is the first thinker who thinks about a own nation military force, which is very important. And in modern age, his philosophy is he's taken by many countries and formed their own national force. Also, his philosophy on diplomacy is very important for a country for getting countries benefit from any kind of policy. That's why we should be grateful to our very important political thinker Niccolo Machiavelli, and we have to respect his political thoughts, and we have to study about it more for knowing and getting the better benefit from his political notions. Our last slide is based on the criticism of Niccolo Machiavelli. We know all things or persons have two sides. One is good, one is bad. Before this slide, we tell about the good sides of Niccolo Machiavelli and his importance and significance. Right now, we will tell about his criticism in different angle. The first criticism is Niccolo Machiavelli as a controversial political thinker. He is an anti-democratic person, and also he doesn't give any significance on the transparency of ruler. Also, if we read his book The Prince, we and get the basic idea of this book, we will be able to keep the pitch and hold the possession over the nation, but in the long term the country or the state will become autocratic. This is not good for the modern age. and this won't be supported by any country or any human activist. Or why should activist? This shouldn't be supported by anyone. Also, Niccolo Machiavelli distorted the human nature, which is very bad, because there is two type of people. One is bad, one is good. Niccolo Machiavelli just think about the one person, the bad person. He doesn't think about the second one. So that's why we should take a finger on his notion. Niccolo Machiavelli ignored the importance of morality in nation. Fox said that what is morally wrong can never be politically right. After the criticism of Niccolo Machiavelli, we should reject the bad sides of his philosophy, and we should take the good sides of his philosophy, and we should put it into our government functional system, and keeping our country more strong, more protective, and we should use it for the well-being of the mass people. There are lots of criticism on Niccolo Machiavelli, but we know the significance and the importance of his philosophy, and we should be respectful to his philosophy and to him. We should take the good sides of his philosophy, and we should reject the bad sides, and we should make more good and livelihood nation by the notion of Niccolo Machiavelli. Before ending my video, pardon me for my poor background, poor video quality, and poor English speaking skill. I will do better in next time. Please stay with me. Best of luck. Goodbye to all.